Hi, I'm Margaret from Margaret's Crafts. I wanted to welcome you to my channel where I'm going to share today with you some of my knitting and crocheting that I've been working on for the month of September. Uh, I have a couple finished items and I have some whips and a lot of goodies that I've collected from a local store. To start off with, I have my footies that I've been working on. And these were knit on US 1.5 or 2.5 millimeter. And it was the Wisdom Yarn, Allegro, and Slate Minstrel. And like I said before, I'll never buy this yarn again. It even still feels kind of, they're soft, but they're not nice and fluffy like the wool is. And even I knit some in acrylic socks before, the acrylic yarn, and it it didn't feel like these felt. And then I ended up, because when I had them I had them to wear with my tennis shoes, they kept sliding up under my tennis shoes. So I knit these from the top down, so I wasn't able to just take it a loose and knit the cuff a little higher. So what I did was I picked up stitches and knit a 2x2 ribbing on the top there with some oh, I forget what yarn. I saved these for the heels and toes. I think it's Cascade sock yarn. It's I think it's a 75-25 or 80-20 wool wool with nylon. And I did that, put them on, and they still slipped up underneath those shoes. So then one day I washed them, I wore them with a different pair of shoes, and they didn't slip. So I think it was the shoes, not the socks. But they still have a slightly higher cuff on them. They do fit well, but even when I wear them, I could still feel a difference in these socks. And the yarn was really, really hard to knit, and it felt like it was hurting my fingers. So they're done. The next thing off the needles is a new start and a finish. And it is a hat that I made. I made like the other one, the navy blue one. That I had finished last time. This is one of my made up patterns, and this one I'm considering smaller. I made this one for my other son who has a larger head, so I did this one a lot bigger. And I'm going to change. I have the pattern. I don't call it a pattern. I call it notes. I have the notes for this, or the pattern, whatever you want to call it, on my blog, and I'm going to change it to add in the small, and I'm considering this small, I'm considering this one large, and I'm going to do a size a little bit smaller than this, because this is how the two of these fit. This is this one. This is for my husband. He keeps his, he shaves his hair. So it has the wide brim on it, the ribbing, so that he can pull it up to where he needs it, because sometimes he just likes to flip them. And this one is for my oldest son. His head is bigger. You can see how much more it comes down. So I made it wider and longer. And it has the long ribbing. There it goes. So that you can see, he can fold it to where he needs it. And I'm going to make another size one that's slightly smaller than this one. It's going to be in between, which is going to be the medium. And that's going to be for my youngest son, because his head is a little bit bigger than my husband's, but smaller than my older son's. So there you go. That one's a finish. It hasn't been washed or anything yet. And I make all their hats out of acrylic because they just like to throw them in the wash machine. I made wool hats last year and my son threw it in the wash machine. It was like, it wasn't super wash, but it was like 80-20 with acrylic in it, or 50-50 something. It came out kind of rough and it shrunk up a little bit, but I was able to use the gleaner and depill it and everything. And it's still, it's a little smaller. So that's why I started, when I make their hats, I make them out of all acrylic. Okay. And I have one more finish, and it's called the Princess Dress Blue by Carol Dick, Hladik. And that's what it looks like. But I had the little girl that I made it for. This is a Christmas present too. Her favorite color is pink. And I think she wanted it. She doesn't know she's getting it. I just asked her what's her favorite princess and what's the princess's dress that she likes. And I think she said Ariel, and it was pink. Whichever one, she had a pink dress on. So this is a blanket. And then there's the bottom. This is crocheted. That's the little ruffle in the middle. Then the bodice. Then a little flower. And the sleeves are like sleeve caps. You do the whole sleeve, and then there's an opening that they can put their hands in like this. Pull it up all the way up on them, and then this goes around their back, around to the back side, so it'll stay up on them, and then they just lay the blanket down over their lap. And let's see. What did I use on this? This is some yarn that I picked up at a local store. Let's see. It's called Dreamweaver, but of course I picked it up in pink. They don't have their colors on there. It's 100% acrylic, so she can just throw it in the wash machine. And the hook that I used was a P hook. This isn't the one I used. I bought another hook that I like better. This one. I was able to knit. This one is a boy, and it just knit really, it crocheted really slow. It wouldn't drag. So then I found these. And I don't know who they're by. But I picked these up at Joann's with a 50 or 60% off coupon. It was a set of 4. And they're more acrylic instead of just that plastic. And they were able to slide a lot better. So that's my third thing that I have finished. And it just fits like this with their arms in the sleeve. And it goes over the front and then down across their legs. And then you have the little bow with the little ruffles, and then the white little insets. And that's a paid for pattern. So that one's done. And now I have 3 whips. Let me show you I'll just go by what I have here. This one I just started And I take this one with me. I put my socks, because they're for me, on hold while I get some of my Christmas knitting and stuff done. And I'm doing this one is a free pattern by Premier Yarns, and it's called the Basket Weave Hat and Scarf. Sorry, I didn't print it in color. I'm just doing the hat. And it calls for a US 8 for the hat, but I'm doing the ribbing because this is for a little girl. I'm doing the ribbing in a 6. You can't tell how big it is because I'm still just working on the ribbing so that the ribbing will fit tighter. It's for a 5-year-old. So I took it down using the same amount of stitches and everything. I just took it down in a needle size to make a tighter ribbing, and then I'll go up, I think, to a 7. I may even go up to an 8 for the hat part. And it's going to be in shades of purple. And the yarn that I'm using is the graduate yarn. I think this is Premier, yeah. And this is by Premier Yarns. And it comes in 5 in a pack. But I'm not doing the 5th color. I don't know. The 5th color did not seem like it matched all the rest of them when you see it in person. So I'm doing it in 4 colors. The first 4 colors. And I just balled them all up already. And I pulled these out. They look kind of rough because I tried crocheting like about 3 different patterns. I didn't like the way that they looked. So I just said, I'm just going to knit her a pattern. So that's what I'm doing now. And that's what I have so far. And that is one of my acquisitions that I bought. I bought that at Joann's when they had a 60% off coupon. I grabbed that to do her hat. The next thing that I'm working on, like I said, I put these on hold until I get some of my Christmas knitting and crocheting done. So these are just a plain pair of socks that I'm doing. And the yarn is Patton's Croy FX, and it's in the celestial colors. So I just, like I said, I do my socks 2 concurrently, not 2 at the same time, but 2 together. So I do the ribbing in some of the leg of the sock. I do like 3 inches on this one. Then I'll pick this one up and do 3 inches. Then I'll do 3 more inches on this one to the heel. And then I'll do the same thing with this one. Then I'll put both heels in and knit down about 3 inches. And I'll just keep going back and forth. So they're done almost at the same time. And that's what I have done so far. And this is what I have so far done on this one. I just have my cuff and down my leg to 3 inches. And I have my cuff and just started down my leg. But I'm putting these away. These are, you know, just my on-the-go socks that I carry. And I've been taking the hats with me to get those ones done. And the last thing I have that I'm working on is my husband's, I call it his blue jean sweater. And it's done on a US 4 and a US 5, which is 3.5 and 3.75 millimeter. And the yarn that I'm using is, excuse me, Deborah Norville Everyday Soft Worsted. And Prince is blue tone and solid is navy. And the pattern. Hey, I didn't write the pattern down. I have to add that in. But I've been working on this. You've seen it before. And I told you I had adjusted the neckline because I just couldn't figure theirs out. So I do have, the body is all done. The last time I was right here on the body. Right there. And I hadn't picked up the arm yet. So I picked up the arm and knit down the arm on this one with the cuff. And now I picked up this arm because this arm wasn't picked up. I picked up this arm and starting to knit down the arm. So that's coming along nicely. I work on this a little bit every evening till I get it done. So I just have a little bit more of the arm to do. And I'm doing it a little different from the pattern, even for the sleeves. I'm picking up, because I have more stitches, because I changed up the pattern to fit across his chest, and I picked up more stitches to do make sure the underarm is closed up. So my decreases are a little bit different, and for his arm length, they're a little bit, he wanted more tapered down. So when he's on the computer, he doesn't have the sleeve moving. So it's a more tapered down sleeve, straight down. And he's tried it on and it fits perfectly. And he likes all his sweaters. I bought him wool to make him sweater. He doesn't want the wool because he doesn't want me to have to, the hand wash it and lay it out to dry. He likes to just throw them in the laundry. We throw them in the wash machine, throw them in the dryer. No, we don't usually throw them in the dryer. We throw them in the wash machine and then we just hang them to dry. And with acrylic, you can just hang them. We put them on a coat hanger and hang them, and they dry without any problems. And his other two sweaters, he loves them. So the body is done. One sleeve is done, and the other sleeve is about, let's see, a third of the way done. So this is my evening work. I'll just sit here and work on it. So many, rounds. I usually do 2 sets of decreases every night. And I think I have 24 decreases, according to what I did. And then put the cuff on. And his sweater will be done. And that's all my knitting and crocheting that I have for you. And now I can share with you the things that I've purchased. For starters, when I've been going to my local yarn shops here. Well, I only made it to, sorry. I went to one of my local yarn shops. I want some Christmas yarn. I want to make me some Christmas socks, even if it's not for this year. But I want the red and green yarn, and they didn't have any at the one shop I went to, but they did have this, the reinforcer for your socks. They had the 2 colors. They had like a tan and a black. So I picked that up to do, not for the toes, but just for my husband's heels. It's like 2 pair of socks. One he snagged, I think, and one had a hole in it that I repaired. So I'm just going to do that. Next, with Joann's having their 60% off coupons and 50, I picked up, and they had some new colors of the Peyton's Croy sock yarn. So this is what I love to make my husband's socks out of. So I picked up 2 balls of the Coastal Stripes. I picked up 2 balls of Turquoise Stripes. There you go. That's the one. This is the other one. It's like blues and grays. And And I picked up 2 of the tourmaline stripes. This one is blues and grays, but the darker. And I got 2 of those. And somewhere else I have 2 more that I bought when I went back this last time. I don't know where I put them at. They had some 50% off coupons. They had some 50% off coupons, so I went and picked up some yarn then. And then I went to a local store that I've talked to about before. It's called Marks. And they have different, in their closeout areas, they have different things all the time. And I picked up this Kempe. It's Kempe kit. It's the yarn is all different shades of white, blue, purple, no purple, green, pink, and then yellow, and then it has a yellow pom-pom. And it also has a crochet hook in there and everything. And this was $1.99. So that's excellent for a little girl's hat. It has the ball of yarn, crochet hook, and a pom-pom, a furry pom-pom. So I picked that up. And let's see, does it have, it's by Lion Brand, and it's called Rainbow Cupcake. So I wanted to try that. Then they had this pen yarn. I think I tried to make it, because it doesn't say what size it is. It doesn't have the colors. And it's written in, I don't know if it's Japanese or something. It's approximately 40 grams, and it came 10 in a pack. And this is the gray. There's the name of it right there. And these were $2.99 for 10. I think these are bulky, because when I tried to figure the wraps per inch, it was a little bit more than worsted. So I got that in gray, and I also picked it up in a navy blue. I thought these would make nice little hats, gift hats to make, or slippers or anything. They're 100% acrylic. Then I picked up this Dreamweaver's yarn. It's 2 in a pack. It's 100% acrylic. And that's what like I said, that's what I make that out of. And it wasn't bad. And the more I worked with it, the softer it got. So I think after I wash it, it will be even softer. It wasn't too bad to work on with crochet. I haven't knit it with it yet, but I have a knitting pattern that I want to work on. And I bought 2 packs of these. There are 2 in the pack for $2.69. And I picked up 2 browns, well, 4 browns, because 2 packs. And I picked up 2 tans, or 4 balls. So I want to make a big afghan for my husband too. And this is going to be the main color for it, and it's like a darker tan. And I picked up 4 packs of these, so 8 of this color. So this is going to be his afghan. A nice large afghan for him. And those shades of brown. because his main chair that he sits in the living room, his recliner is brown. So I wanted to make him a nice big throw to go on it, not just a little lap one. So I figured that should do it. And after working with it for that, it's so I'm okay to work with it. Yeah, I used, this is the pink that I used to make hers. And it used the one set, the two in that one. I rolled up the third one, and this is what I have left over. So that can go together with that. Okay, and then I picked up, they had some Karen Simply Soft Light in a gray. It is so soft. And it's 100% acrylic, 3 ounces or 330 yards. And this is a DK weight. It's number 3. And I picked up about like 14 or 15 balls of this. I'm like, I can make my husband a nice DK weight sweater to wear or something, or even for myself. Oh, forgot to tell you the price on these. These were 2 for 99¢. So I bought all the gray that they had. I think it's about 15 or maybe 20. I don't know. I have it all shoved in over here, the more that I bought. And they also had the Karen Simply Soft Stripes. Now this is a worsted weight, number 4. It's 4 ounces, 113 grams, approximately 194 yards. And this color is Golden Gate Bridge. It's like the reds, the burgundies, the grays, some blue, and some cream color. And these also were 2 for 99¢. I think I picked up 30 of these in this color. And they also had it in Churchill Downs. And this one is blues and browns and cream. And I think I picked up about 30 of this one. And like I said, they were 2 for 99¢. So these ones, the red one and the blue one, are going to be Afghans for my sons. My one son loves red, the other son loves blue. Worked out perfectly. I bought all that they had in the blue and almost all that they had in the red. I think I got 30 of each of these. May have been 35 or 40. But I just bought all that they had in that one, but equal amount so I can make them a nice big Afghan. And what I picked up at the Dollar Tree, because I'm not going to work on them right now, and I just have yarn all over the place now until I wanted to show you. So I picked up these, which I've used before, and they work very well. These vacuum seal bags from the Dollar Tree. And like all of my yarns, like for my husband's, for my one son, and for my other son, for their Afghan, I'm going to put them in these vacuum seal bags. And then they'll fit on my shelf, or at the very top of my shelf. I can lay them down. I just have some knickknacks up there. and I can just vacuum seal them down and then put these on the top of that shelf so that they're out of the way and they're all together and they'll stay clean, because that's what I did when I bought for the yarn for the sweaters. I bought a sweater's worth of yarn, and when they had some kind of fantastic deal, and then at Joann's, and I think I had a 20 or 25% coupon off of on top of that. And I had a gift card that I had got for Christmas. So I just went and just bought all the yarn. Then I vacuum sealed them up in the individual colors. And they're on a shelf, a bottom shelf over here. You can't see because my little step stool is right there that I use to get to the top of my case that has the glass in it. The acrylic I can leave out into these drawers and stuff like this. The baskets, I leave the acrylic in that. But my wool I keep behind glass with some lavender things in there to try to deter anything. I haven't had any that get into it, but just to make for sure, any moths or anything, I try to keep that behind glass. Plus, it's not, it doesn't get as dusty. And with the acrylic, I'm going to wash it afterwards anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I got some of these vacuum seal bags to seal my things up in there. And I've been wanting to show you this. Let me see before I finish. Wrong way. I have a little sort of kind of my mannequin. This is everything I have up here. I have my stuff on my little mannequin. And it's not exactly a mannequin. It is a modern metal wardrobe. I bought this a long time ago. I've been wanting to show this. Now I can finally throw this box away. At the store here, it was $7.99. I don't know if you can see the price. And it's to put the men's clothes on. And if you can see from this one, it has the arm that comes out to hold the pants over. Well, that kind of makes the bust line. And I have bought some interfacing when I was making the bags, and I was trying the different interfacings that I like. And this interfacing was just too thick. So I just covered my mannequin, so to say, and then pinned it around the back. So it has some padding. And then I added some extra padding on one of the side right here, where the little, where you slide the pants in the sideways. So I just made a little bubble that goes around, so it's nice and still, like rounded over on this side. And that's what I usually keep my sweaters and my shawls, and I just throw them up on there and keep that decorated over in the corner in my craft room. But I just have my little dress on it now. Like that. So it can show. But I'm going to wash it and put it in a bag for Christmas. But I just want to show you that you don't have to go out and buy a lot of those expensive mannequins. I had one when I was doing a lot of sewing. For myself. I had a regular mannequin, and then I stopped sewing. This was years ago. And my sister still sews, so when she came down, I gave it to her. It was one of those adjustables that you can adjust the bust size and the hips and everything like that. So I just gave it to her because she still does I'm a sewer, she's a seamstress. So, I mean, she can make bridal gowns, she can make everything. I sew. I can sew some pants, skirts, jackets, and everything like that is what I used to wear. I would sew for me and my sons and my husband. I even sewed him some stuff too. And especially when we would go somewhere like a family picnic or something, I would make us all matching outfits and stuff. And but I stopped doing that now, that especially since they've gotten bigger. And I went into quilting instead of sewing of clothes. So I gave her that mannequin. But then after I started knitting and crocheting, I wanted something to display my things on. So when I saw that at Mark's, I picked it up And I came home and I threw the stuff over it, and it looked good except for that one little thing. So then I had this, the interfacing, and I just put the interfacing around and pinned it, put some little padding up over the thing. And when I have my clothes on there, because it's made to hold your jackets and stuff. So when I put my clothes, my shirts and everything on it, it fits, it makes them look really nice. So I've been wanting to share that, and I've been forgetting to show you. The last thing I wanted to share with you is some books that I picked up at Mark's. And this one is called Cover Up by Nikki Epstein. And it's all kinds of blankets and throws. And this was $1.99 hardcover book. And let's see. This US was $29.99, Canada $35.95. And I bought this to make, let's see, where is it at? They have all kinds of patterns that you do. You just knit them, and then you can applique on top of them. This is just a sample of what I'm talking about. You do all the hand applique on top. That's not what I'm making. Okay, this is the one in this book that I fell in love with. And that is called Mud Cloth. So I may be making this one for myself. And there it is right there. That one I'm going to make for myself. And then this one is called My Grandmother's Knitting by Larissa Brown. And it was 99 cents. It's regular $22.50 or $25.50. And it has, I think this cape is absolutely, let me cover up the pattern. Gorgeous. And it has this family tree afghan. It has mitts, scarves, hats, sweaters, shawlettes. So it's a good all around, even some slippers. It's a good all around little book. For 99 cents, you can't beat that. And it also has that sweater in the book. And the last one I picked up is Knit a Monster Nursery. And this one, the price tag has gotten all gunky and full of animal hair. It was $1.99 because I keep seeing everybody knit those monsters. And this one has a book full of monsters. I love this one with the rings. And then the big monster there. The monsters here. The tissue box covers on those ones. Just some snugglies in all different sizes. Okay. And I also picked up this magazine. It's called From Creative Knitting, The Best of Creative Knitting. And it's for October 2017. And I picked this one up to make, this is the blanket I wanted to make my husband. Right there. So I had picked up the one color, and I don't know if I'm going to decide to make it like in a graduate and then change back, you know, from dark to light to dark or whatever, however I'm going to do that, I think. So that's what I picked up for him. Sorry, I had 3 more things that I forgot that I had picked up. I picked up a yarn bowl, a wooden one. Excuse me. I picked this up from Michael's. It's loops and thread wooden yarn bowl, and I'm just going to put some little scrap balls of yarn in here and just use it as a display. And I had a 50% off coupon, or a 60, whichever one that I used, and I picked this up. And also with some 60% off coupons, I picked up these bags they had at Joann's, and I've already taken the tags off. Here's one. I think they were $4.99 or $5.99, something like that, and I used a 60% off coupon. And I have I Heart on Crochet, and this one says knit it good. And I think these are by right there, by Boy Yarns Crafts. So I picked 2 of those up. And at Michael's, I also picked up one of these yarn bags that they had. I think it was $9.99. It has an orange lining, but it doesn't have the bottom. So I'm going to just make a square bottom on these. And I used a 50 or 60% off coupon on this. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching my videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I do videos, my knitting and crocheting videos, about every month, because I'm not a real fast knitter or crocheter, and so I don't have much progress to share with you. So that's why I do it monthly. If I get into a good groove and I have more, I'll show you sooner. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Bye.